The RPG of the year is Chrono Trigger. The game has been hyped a lot by the gaming magazines, even months before its release. The game deserves the attention, especially since it may be the best RPG ever made. Combining the elements of Final Fantasy III and The Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger should be one of the top sellers this Christmas. What makes the game unique is the time travel element and the multiple endings. Just like Back to the Future, you can alter the future, and thus the ending, by traveling to the past. Your name is Chrono, and the game begins with Mom waking you up. This is appropriate since many kids need bombs to get themselves out of bed in the morning. In fact, some of us still do. Once you're able to roll out of bed, go downstairs and say good morning to your cat. If you listen carefully, you can hear its meow. Make sure you talk to Mom at least twice before you leave the house. The second time she'll give you 200 gold points to spend at the Millennium Fair. Head directly to the fair, which is being held north of town. Keep going straight up until you run into Marl. Marl is new to the area and doesn't know her way around town. In all the chaos of the collision, she loses her pendant. Look for it in the upper right of the screen, and when you find it, be sure to return it to her. Marl is ecstatic that she hasn't lost her pendant, and now she wants to follow you around so she can become familiar with the area. It's time to go exploring, so be sure to visit all of the houses and talk to all of the people to get advice. In one house, you will find a mysterious black box that won't open until later in the game. Weird. When you're done gathering information, head northwest and enter Guardia Forest. This small forest is home to many strange creatures. You don't have to battle them, but you should if you want to gain experience points, raise your levels, and learn spells. Marl's help in these battles is invaluable, and with her you can perform what's called a double technique. One of these double techniques is an aura whirl, which fully replenishes the hit points of both Chrono and Marl. The characters in this game also have their own single techniques. Chrono's technique is called Cyclone, which enables him to spin like a cyclone to give his enemies multiple hits in a quick amount of time. Marl, on the other hand, has the Aura technique at her disposal. While the Aura Whirl heals both party members, the singular form of Aura heals just one person. You will learn more techniques as you gain experience. Search to the east of the forest under a tree to find a hidden power capsule, and then head north to Guardia Castle. Don't expect to stay there. The guards won't let you in, and after they yell at you, you won't want to go in. Marl wants to head back to the fair, so take her advice and do just that. When you arrive, try playing all of the games. All fairs, including this one, have ring the bell games. Push A to begin the game, and when Chrono runs all the way back, press A again to run forward and slam the hammer down to ring the bell. The next game you should play is the race game. When all 4 participants line up to get ready, talk to the man behind the fence to find out who the winner will be, and then make your bet with the guy in the tent. Now is when the game really picks up. There's a singing robot. Yes, a singing robot, who invites you to a duel. If you win, you get 15 silver pieces and a song from the robot. This robot is hysterical. He even has a microphone. For another laugh, you can get some food and then listen to Marl call you a pig. The next event, however, is not funny. Luca and her father are demonstrating their time warps. After you try it, Marl wants to do the same. Unfortunately, her pendant opens up a door to another era and she is sucked in. And so the adventure begins. Being the dashing hero that you are, you decide to use the pendant that was left behind to trigger the door again and follow Marl to another time. You travel through some sort of vacuum with purple and blue colors, and when you make it to the other side, you'll find yourself in some sort of parallel world. Everything looks very similar to your hometown in the Kingdom of Guardia, but where's Marl? The only way to find out is to play Chrono Trigger for yourself. Chrono Trigger is an excellent game. The graphics have never been better for an RPG, and the challenge level is high, making it a must-buy. We've shown you just the tip of the iceberg, so don't hesitate and see all the rest for yourself.
Chrono Trigger's multiple endings feature is a nice concept, but most endings share key plot points. It's not worth your time to play through the game a second time just to see a couple of minor variations. Beating Lavos once is tiring enough. Do yourself a favor and call it quits after your first supreme victory. Speaking of calling it quits, this will be the last time we will cover Chrono Trigger on the show. As a final tribute to this epic adventure, here's a collection of some of the game's most memorable scenes.
Did you know that Squaresoft's Chrono Trigger borrows some occasional names from characters in Final Fantasy III? For example, in the fair at the beginning of the game, there's a game that you can play where 3 soldiers walk around and you have to guess which one is which. 2 of the soldiers are named Wedge and Vix. You might recognize these names from the opening scene in Final Fantasy III, where Wedge and Vix are escorting Terra to the town of Narsh. You don't believe us? Well, here's the clip to prove it.